Now, when we talk about the new moon, it simply means that the first appearance of the moon between the sun and then the earth. Don't forget that I have told you that when I talk about the moon, I am not talking about that physical round thing you see in the sky at night. I am talking about the energy that God, the infinite intelligence God, that we cannot see, we cannot touch, we cannot, go to him and walk to him as a human being, but we experience his energy, we experience his power through its radiation and permeating through the objects of his creation. So we know God and experience God through its energy emanating and permeating through the entirety of creation, animate and inanimate. And I am saying that in the permeation of creatures within creation, the highest of the creatures that harbors and harnesses the highest vibrational energy of God is the moon and then the sun. And that is why a lot of people does moon worship and sun worship. When you go to Egyptology, they do a lot of sun worship. It is idol worship. It's a misconception. We have to deal with the essence, the energy, which is coming from the source, which is God. So, when the new moon signifies that when the sublime intelligent creator, which is God, is ready to exert a new dimension of the feminine energy that will cause life and manifestation possible on earth, it makes it possible for that round object to appear between the earth and then the sun, so that the energy can permeate through that object as a point of contact to reach our earth plane. And that is what we call the new moon. So the new moon, when it appears, it stands for a spiritual phenomena which is taking place. But we can only connect to this spiritual phenomenon, since it is invisible and unseen, through the appearance of the moon in the sky. So at the moment the moon appears in the sky in its new state, we know that God is emanating a new feminine energy to our earth space. So it serves as a sign and telling us the season in which we are. So it is not to be worshipped, but it is to be monitored to confirm the time and the seasons the earth is within divine consciousness. I think today I'm going a little bit deep. So that is what it is. So anytime you have the full moon, and the entire lunar cycle takes between 28 days to 29 days. That is the lunar cycle. That's the period it takes. So anytime you have the new moon appearing, you should know that there's a new feminine energy that has been released to our earth space, which the moon is telling us that this is what the divine intelligent creator has emitted. How do you take advantage of it? And that is why our lady's menstrual cycle is connected to the counting of the moon phases. It is influenced by the moon phases because they are connected to the feminine. So when the new moon comes, what does it teach us? Now, anytime there is the new moon period that appears, it's like the universe is giving us a clean slate. The universe is giving us a clean slate, a fresh page. A fresh page to do what? To have a new personal development, to have an opportunity to develop a new business, to have the opportunity to develop a new family relationship, to have the opportunity to grow your emotions and psychologically. It gives you a new slate generally in life to be able to, implement things and reorient things. Because God consistently and constantly is giving his children an opportunity to turn their lives around. And one of the energies that he exhibits to give us the opportunity to turn our lives around is the new moon. But how do you take advantage of it? You can't take advantage of it, it's because you lack knowledge. But when you have knowledge, you take advantage of it. Now let's look at some of the benefits of the new moon. What are some of the benefits of the new moon? So for my brothers in the Christian fraternity like myself, don't be afraid to utilize the new moon. It is not demonic if you have been told by theology. It's never demonic. And we are not surprised because in the first place, theology was not designed to make us free, to make us knowledgeable about spirituality. Theology was designed by this elite class to control the religious and the spiritual space. And that's why we have Islamic theology, we have Christian theology, we have Buddhism theology, we have Hindu theology, we have different types. Theology is not only meant for Christianity, or theology is not only about Christianity. We have different types of theologies. But their intention is not to make us a free souls, a free spirited people. It's to control the amount of knowledge we know about our own spirituality. So I'm not surprised. And for many of you Christians, if you don't know, who you think, if somebody is calculating the moon to do a particular prayer or do a particular direction, you've been told is satanic and demonic. The Easter that you celebrate is done through the calculation of the moon. The Easter that we celebrate, the date that they give for Easter is done through the calculation of the moon phases. Ask your pastor, how is Easter day derived? And why is it that the Easter day, we know 25th December is always Christmas, isn't it? But why is it that the date of Easter changes? It changes because the moon phases do change. It changes according to the moon phases. Why is it that 25th December is fixed, but the Easter is never fixed? Because it is determined according to the movement and the phases of the moon. This is AI overview. It says that Easter, how is Easter determined? It says Easter is determined as the first Sunday after the first full moon that occurs on or after the spring equinox. So the Easter is calculated according to the movement and appearance of the full moon. So when those theologians, whatever people who govern that sector, sees the full moon, or they know the time the full moon will appear, the first Sunday after the appearance of the full moon is your Easter. So your Easter is calculated based on full moon. But why don't they tell you in the church? Now Easter when you shatare na mu ye obi ka full moon as an new moon as a say demonic. Meanwhile, the Bible tells us, the God of the Bible tells us that we need to worship him in the new moon. Easter is determined by the movement, the appearance of the full moon. This they don't want the ordinary church members to know, so that they will have their freedom. And the reason why I'm a bonfire answers is because of these things. Upesa o she djuma fufura se into o bonfire now be she djuma fufura se now bonfire now last quarter of the moon, where it is not good to start a new business because the moon is recessing. The energy that brings prosperity, that brings fruitfulness, that brings manifestation in our earth, in our earth space, on planet Earth, air recede, that's the time our bonfire say ube started with Juma. How would your work be successful? Bible, it is true that Bible said lack of knowledge, my people perish. That's what Bible said, lack of prayer, my people perish. Because Bible knows that prayer will not save you. For prosperity and control comes from the feminine energy, and you must understand the dynamics of the feminine energy. One tells you forget it, the feminine control you will not get it. Because anything that has to do with material progress, material success, and material prosperity comes from the feminine energy. So you must understand. It is some person starting business for and ya afena yako first quarter and I'll be start your business. Who be your business and ya afena moon appear in the last quarter. Now could be able to. Now when you wake up, moon faces on they are all signs and they are telling you what time to start your business, what time to close your business, what time to start a new idea, what time to sit down and think and seek for new ideas from God. This moon is telling you the seasons of your life, what to do, when to do what. So business go through turmoil, go through troubles. Who said our worry echo and then time I said uta na dream our worry say na yakoba mama idea bia wo de be ye be ma worry akoye. What time you do? You don't do it at the full moon. Sorry, you don't do it at the new moon. Because new moon emit that energy into the universe. For lack of knowledge, my people are perishing. And that's why I've taken time to explain this thing, so that you don't even need any spiritual teacher. If you understand these things, you can just apply it in your everyday life. That's the miracle that our God does. Now, Odin said, yeah, Papa Nomu, all those founders and then the leaders of Christianity that came in the Old Testament, Moses, Abraham, when you saw until you are seeing keke. Oh, you saw no bomb pie keke, no, they understood the time and the seasons. That's why when you go to the 12th tribe of Israel, they have a group, a tribe they call the sons of Issachar. And when you look at the sons of Issachar, they say, for they understood the time and the seasons. For the sons of Issachar understood the times and the season. And how did they understand the time and the season? Because they understood the workings of the moon and the phases of the moon. And based on those workings and the phases of the moon, they used to advise and to guide the Israelites. And yet every time you must understand the times and the seasons and the phases of the moon. When we talk about materialism, we talk about that is how. And when you're talking about spiritual elevation, you deal with the sun, because it's dealing with your electrical energy, it's dealing with your electrical field. And now, I'm making here quantum physics about the man who say it is emotional intelligence. And Emma nipa inyade. When you're psychologically intelligent or you have high IQ with low EQ, there is no way you'll be successful in life. And Omo who say it is when man is impregnated with enormous emotional energy about an idea he has, that is the only man that can achieve that idea. But when you are a man or a person with a lot of ideas without any emotional energy attached to that idea will still remain as a dead idea in your brain, never to be manifested in this physical dimension of reality. This is science. And now they are now spending a lot of time to train their children about emotional intelligence. Because akondo, is that akondo they call it? Akondo. That is emotion, it's a desire. Desire is emotion. And adibia akondo bia no di echiri. Adia akondo no, ubetumi adwen ho ba un di echida. So emotions is the energy that drives us to achieve in this physical dimension. And that emotion is governed by the moon's energy. That is why all romantic dates are always organized in the night. Under the moonlight, in a plain park, with a table with some candle on it, the red candle, which also synonymous to the magnetic field, because the first vibratory color of the magnetic field is red color, which is the life energy center. It is red. The entirety of the magnetic field, which is the emotional field, which is the feminine field, is red to yellow with all its shades and tints. So you must understand, Christians will lack knowledge in Shandia. And until I am chain all night, pray. No, get knowledge, get understanding. In all that get, the Bible says that in all that getting, get understanding. For it is written in the Bible that at the end times, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our days. It's not about many hours of prayers. Simple share Western world for you, in your normal for you. Sorry, but look at how they are progressing. They say they are colonizing Mars, and now you are thinking of Sankofa Ukowichi. We are not a serious people. Tama nipa to say you're conceiving in 9 months to say Tama nipa ye nyem to say 9 months to say almost say when almost to conquer the terrestrial dimension. That assassin terrestrial plane with almost conquer all the knowledge. They said they are going to colonize moon Mars. Now obiti YouTube. No say Sankofa. Enim no cry into me nko. Yen sansan ye chi ye koyin. What's wrong with us people? There's something wrong somewhere. Baby aye gina no cry yen to me compete omo. Na yen sanko ye chi ye kofa de. We need to rethink and understand the dynamics of life. Because success in this material dimension is not all about just prayers. It's not all about just fasting. It's not all about just doing charity. It's understanding the time and the seasons and understanding how the dynamics of this physical dimension works. And when you understand the time and the seasons and how the dynamics in this physical dimension works, you just flow with the current and things are done effortless. Sometimes, you know what sometimes what's fascinating? American movie. Na owu ba na bia obi killer na ya capture the yere. Na we finally with na we escape. I was still at the enemy's camp. Now we escape wakokoto na yere wo enemy camp no ma enemies no around no. Na wa hage na yere no kisi no. Na asa now mu Johnny answer mbe hage. Because they understand. He understand the dynamics of terrain as here. You understand? You understand the dynamics. What am I saying? I'm giving this now to let you know. When you understand the dynamics in the midst of the troubles and the horses in this life, you are cool. But me, I mean, the dynamics that you know, say, Yakubo be a kwambinam whom a year or baby, I'm a captain and me Benny put me jangate and I'm say about another friend. Because maintain dynamics, na say. That's how we are living our lives as black people. We don't understand the dynamics of life. And we don't take time to understand the dynamics of life. This afternoon I was telling Abraham, say, sometimes it's difficult. Because sometimes when I look at myself and what say, let me catch this right. Say research institutions. No bar say, oh, you per se invented side the way. Oh, you per se in some particular fertilizer say, and I per se in side the way. Almost set up number for call. Now meditation for solutions in Bana. It is there. That's an outcome. It is there. Because those genius people, they are not separate from us. And some of us, we've gone past this level of those people, you call them geniuses. But you live in a world, you live in a jurisdiction where nobody cares. Everybody is looking up to somebody, going to the World Bank, going to the IMF, and sometimes when I look at the problem of this continent, I look at the problem of Ghana, I always tell Abraham and Apostle them that, look, when I become the president, I need only 2.5 years, no less, no more. And 2.5 years, I'll change the destiny of Ghana. Very simple. But Okasa Krana Omuntie. Okasa, they don't listen. Why? Because I don't have PhD and all those things. Just understand the dynamics, understand the time and the season, and take advantage of the time and season. Get some guys, give them the training, they go inside, they get the knowledge from other dimensions of reality. Because there are so many intelligences, there are so many technologies. We are in the golden age, and technology and knowledge has abounded. But the black man doesn't know the dynamics and the know-how to tap into this available knowledge in our universe. Listen, when we meditate every time, the spiritual intelligences always make it available that they have released enormous energy and enormous intelligence into earth space. But look at we. All we need to do is TikTok. You go to social media, and that somebody is talking, say, Fakosha, na fa tame woman, and say, na chobidi, na fakojiska. What's all this? On no chel said I did tame would chokosha de kojiska. On chel said na beya would you tame won de nyeskano. Obisika na on de koji. Oye sade obeji obi kunu. Imema bebrebu o mo pe kunu yi. On chel said na beya wanka so betumi nya wo kunu. Unkoji obi kunu na hia. The universe has enough in abundance that everybody should be satisfied. Everybody should be satisfied. But what is the problem? And what is the cause of the problem? It's because we don't understand the universe. We don't understand creation. We don't understand God. And the best we could have done, or the best we have ever done, is to form religions to try to understand. And in the worst of this endeavor, the religions has ended up indoctrinating us because it's being spearheaded and controlled by people with selfish interests of self-aggrandizement. So the puzzle becomes worse. It's become more messier to solve and to arrange. Nipa a problem. And anything difficult. What is the difference? I'm going to get me that book we read this afternoon. What is the difference? What is the difference between me meditating? Oh, you give me. It's a live program, so don't worry. What is the difference between me meditating to get an idea to solve my problem in my house and meditating to get an invention? There's no difference. It is the same source that brings that knowledge. There's no difference. Let me see if I can get this page. There's no difference. I just want to read something for you. Now, the title of the book is The Secret of the Ages. Okay? I just want us to read an episode. This afternoon, we're doing some classes, internal classes. We are doing internal discussional classes, and then we have to make a discussion on the book. I just want you to understand the difference between those who can invent and those who cannot invent. Those who can make headway and those who cannot make headway. They are just ordinary. We are all the same people. There's something. It says that the geniuses of literature. I didn't write this book. Okay? I didn't write this book. Okay? The title of the book is The Secret of the Ages. Okay? It says that the geniuses of literature, of the arts, commerce, government, politics, inventions, are, according to the scientists, not according to spirituality or not according to metaphysics, according to scientists, all those geniuses are ordinary men like you and I, who have learned somehow, some way to draw upon their subconscious mind. All that Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Shakespeare, all these guys, you see them and you revere them so much. Plato, Pythagoras, Archimedes, they are ordinary people like you and I. It is through sexual intercourse. They were conceived for 9 months. They were given birth to 9 months. They ate, they drank, they slept, they poo-poo, they wee-wee, they did everything. They are you and I. We are the same. They breathe and they die. But what makes them genius? What makes them genius is something that they know, that they understand, a dynamics that they know, that they understand, that you and I, we don't know and understand. And I am trying to tell you that this is the dynamics. I am trying to tell you, this is the dynamics. It's not just about shouting prayer, tongues. I cannot cry like Africa, you're top of your singing. Say, I cannot cry Africa. I can say top of your singing. It is not about shouting, jumping, and all those things. As is it Theodore Bismarck? He said something, or say, he said that success is not in the prayer equation, isn't it? He said success is not, according to Theodore Bismarck, he said success is not in the prayer equation. It is understanding, it is coming to understanding of how things work. If you want success in this material dimension, it is not in the prayer equation. That is Theodore Bismarck, one of the renowned Christian gospel preachers. You see, when you are talking about material success, it's not in the prayer equation, but it is in the knowledge of knowing how things work. And here, I am telling you how things work. Probably he might have read it. Probably he might have got intuition, but he didn't give out the technical knowledge. I am here giving you the dynamics on how things work in this physical dimension. Just try it and see. So when we are talking about the new moon, it's one of the dynamics of understanding how things work in this physical dimension and causes things to come into manifestation. One day, we'll make a video on why those who have watched or read the book The Secret on the law of attraction, why it does not work. And I will teach you the missing code in the law of attraction regarding the secret video and the book that you bought, why you have applied it and it's still not working. Because there is a secret behind the secret, which was not told in the secret. Listen to me, there's a secret behind the secret, which was not told in the secret. So understanding the dynamics of the system, one of them is understanding the benefit you will derive from the new moon. When the moon appears fresh in the sky between the sun and the earth, what are some of the benefits? It's one of the dynamics. Benefit number one, creating intentions. Anytime is the period for the new moon, and you see the new moon appear in the sky, one of the opportunities that it bestows on the earth plane is the opportunity for men who want to change their life to create a new intention. Please get me the calendar. There's a calendar that gets me. I'll put it there. Calendar. See, this calendar, I always buy it from the Catholic Church. Okay, I say that's a Catholic calendar. If you want to, when you go to any Catholic church, every year they publish it. Okay, yeah, we don't hide anything from you. We'll let you know. Every year they publish it. On this calendar, you will see that they have published all the phases of the moon on the calendar. So you know exactly when the moon phases will come. How did they know this and how did they publish it? We are in this is 2025 calendar, okay? But when you come to December, this is the month of December, okay? This is 2025, the month of November, December. But in the month of December, they are telling you when the new moon will come. They are telling you when the third quarter will come. They are telling you when the full moon will come. And they are telling you when the first quarter will come. How did they get to know? You knew December, Abraham. But they're able to draw the whole appearance of the moon phases on the calendar. And how important is this thing that none is so special to the Catholic Church that the new moon, the phases of the moon is on the calendar. And that is why they control the whole of the universe. Mama, another dynamics. That is why the Catholics the Vatican controls even all the politicians. Why? Because they understand how the system works. This year, when you do meditation, you go inside, it is there. It's there. We are now, your personality develops and you meditate. You say that sometimes they'll be giving you the information. And now I say information be brave. They brought me a lot of information. If you cry, send me they plenty information. How does your energy get affected? How do you lose concentration? They bring you, it's there. Let me see Africa. I say we are round person square holes. And say Krobia. By this time, university be winner. This is what we need to teach the children. If we want our children to be competitive in the international stage of engagement, these are the things they should know so that they can match boot for boot. These guys, they are not fluid though. I'm telling you, these guys, they are not as intelligent as we think they are. They are not. We show them politics. We show them invention. We show them all this. How did the whole dynamics change? We civilize them. It is not me. It is public record. We civilize them. Before Europe built its first university, Africa has built the University of Timbuktu in the Great Mali Empire. We showed them how to build a university. What changed in the dynamics? They came to learn mathematics from us. Algebra, they came to learn from us. Numerology, they came to learn from us. Have you read about the Moors? I don't know, Abraham, you heard about the Moors before? They ruled Spain and Italy, Greece. They were the rulers. They taught them civilization. These were all Africans. Alexandria University. History tells you that civilization starts from Egypt. Who told you civilization starts from Egypt? Before Alexandria University was built, Timbuktu University in Great Mali Empire has been built already. There are a lot of things we need to learn. And it is knowledge which is power. And it is not just having knowledge, but having workable and applicable knowledge. Knowledge that you cannot use it to apply and change your life is no knowledge. You must have knowledge that you can apply and use it to change your life and to change the life of your family and your community as a whole for the better. So, back to our point. Sometimes I did probably later because it's all part of it. So, back to our point. The first benefit, anytime there's a full moon appearance, is that God, through the feminine energy, is giving humanity the opportunity to create intentions. So, where far dream be, you always do so at the new full moon. Now, say when you begin to create new intention at the full moon, what happens is that the energy is exerted from the new moon into your brain is influenced. Because everything the mind is doing, the mind is just a receiver. Go and look at how the mind functions. The mind, our minds is only a receiver. Receiving what from where? Our brain is just a receiver. Our brain has no intelligence of its own. It's just a receiver. So when you understand these dynamics, you know when to focus the mind to create new intentions, so that at that time the mind has been well positioned to be receptive to new ideas and new intentions. And that one of them is the new moon. Under the intentions, it is time when you want to create a new idea for the future, you do that exercise during the new moon. If you want to have a dream for a good manifestation, desire, you desire something which will be a good manifestation for you, you must develop that desire in the new moon. It also gives you the energy to create better foundation for future projects. So when the new moon appears, it gives you these opportunities. Do you know it and do you take advantage of it? That's the question I would ask you. Benefit number 2 that the new moon exerts on our planet and God is giving humans the opportunity to better their lives and to turn their lives around. The second benefit is that self-cleansing. People do cleansing anyhow. Yeah, you can do cleansing at random, but if you want to do a major cleansing exercise in the month, always do it when the new moon appears. Because the reason why the new moon gives you the opportunity to do self-cleansing is because the new moon, by its nature, when it appears, it neutralizes all bad energy vibrations. Naturally. The new moon, naturally has the potency of neutralizing any bad energy vibration or any evil energy vibration. So also throughout the month, now I acquire certain bad vibration through thought, through emotions, and now person neutralizing that. The new moon era is the best time to do this neutralization exercise. That's for self-cleansing. 2, it also gives us the opportunity to harness and activate positive vibratory energies. So as you neutralize the bad ones, it also gives you the opportunity to harness a positive one. Why? Because you are come to start something afresh. It also gives you the opportunity to go through physical cleansing of the toxins for a better health. So sometimes, it is the moon's own way of cleansing ourselves. You know, sometimes, I don't know, Abraham, you've experienced, sometimes you'll be there and then all of a sudden, but now you get stomach upset, you stomach run now. Is the moon's energy of affecting the water, the water energy field in your body to cleanse and to detox physically of your body of toxins. This is reality. There are times you get sick. The sickness, disease does not necessarily mean that. Sometimes it's the body's natural way of putting you into the fasting mode so that it clears toxins, and all these things are done during the new moon. It is also ideal for spiritual cleansing, for a renewed spiritual energy. When you want to do fasting and all those things to cleanse yourself spiritually and to renew your energy, you must do so in the new moon. You must do so in the new moon. Now, the third benefit is to harness new energies. That's the third benefit, is to harness new energies. And on this note, I would want to, because of time, I would want to bring this session to a close. We'll continue it in the next live session on harnessing energy. So this will be the preamble. Then we take the next moon phase that we will treat for the next session, and probably we'll be treating the first quarter. So understanding how system work, understanding how things work helps you, because what we don't know is this our earth plane, which we call the manifest creation. There are 4 structures that see to the manifestation of this tangible world. 1, this tangible world formed its knowledge based on geometry, sacred geometry. Sacred geometry. We'll take time to enter into those things later on. And then numerics or numerology, which is what people call the metrics. And balance of color and light and sound vibration. And all these intelligences are playing within the duality, of which 2 is feminine and 2 is masculine. 2 is manifestation, 2 is attraction. And you must understand these things. Now, if you have a fair knowledge of how the system really works, it helps you. And Nitina, the elites who understands how these things work and how things are playing out in this dimension of reality, their children take over the reign. Because now, Abraham, how can you imagine that this whole world, this whole earth we are on is being ruled by 13 families? You are seeing 13 families spend the ruling we are saying. Omo de yanye momo. Omo de yanye momo. Yanye momo na. Probably we may not have known that the whole world is being ruled by 13 families. You see, when you know 13 families, they control the whole world. They were conceived like you and I were conceived. There's some of them, their great grandfather. I don't know if you know about hybrid beings. Their great grandfather developed to the level that they realize that no, they need a level of intelligence which is beyond earth intelligence. So they crossbreeded. They said I should not go there. I should reserve it for another time. But there are a lot of things. It's a live session, so let's go to it. Don't worry. So there are a lot of things we have to know. And this family, with all the knowledge they acquire out of their suffering, created the 13 ruling families. The Rothschilds, the Rockefeller. School Amoko, we are seeing it was regularized by the Rockefellers. The Russells. So they say next time we'll go to that area. So I just want you to understand that the people who rule this world are those who understand the dynamics of this world. So they invest money into research, they invest money into this, they invest money into that. And the kind of work we do, you understand? We need support so that we can enter, because we are doing these things and it's going to help African children, it's going to help us. Sometimes we struggle to do things. But in all these things, we go through the struggles to still make sure we bring the knowledge to you. And most of us, we go to the churches where they indoctrinate us and we go and give fat offerings and give fat tithe. And yet that is the place they indoctrinate us, and that's the place they siphon our money. And whatever they've given us for all these years has never benefited us, and we are still in deep troubles. Our marriages are in trouble, our children are recalcitrant, our businesses are struggling, our health is struggling. A pastor cannot look at you and tell you what food is good for you and which food is not good for you. And yet when you wake up, you take all the tithe, you take all the offering, you are going to give to that pastor in the name of God. Tell me there, you understand? That's the irony of this world. The man who cannot even give you guidance on how to keep. You see, I was talking to a pastor friend of mine, and he was telling me that it cost me, Bishop, that is what must go down to the church. And then one day he was praying, he was getting sick. So one day he was praying, and the Holy Spirit told him that he should be mindful of his food. But his health is not about prayers, but it's about consumption. And the reason why he called me, because years ago I've tried to educate him about diet in relation to his personality. That Mishena Nyama Odi Nini personality na emache. Until the Holy Spirit reprimanded him. And then he called me and said, "You come." I said, "No problem for my husband there." So you can imagine how ignorance is killing us. A lot of the disease is out of ignorance. And you ignorance. Ya warrior falling apart. Ignorance. The abunsama they say 10%, 15%. But do now is ignorance. Uko warrior unim compatible partner warrior keke. Na dan or how ma na bunsambi oti baby no wenya mane. Ube started juma 3 times season or started juma time the earth energy is in retrogression. Na wako start to business we be business no anko ya osi bunsambi na ye ignorance. Ube ye wedding now sorry anytime you na go wedding we do the week na we wedding and that month na to start to because of the time now you wedding. What is the influence of the earth, the feminine energy on the earth space? Most spiritual leaders and teachers, how many of them know these things? But these are things that they need to know, and they have to use this knowledge to guide you, because se upeu sana nyame abowiase nyame no nye nipa. God is intelligence. God is a divine principle. And his world and his creation operates on this sublime, intelligent principles. And you must understand it and walk by this principle. Thank you very much for your time. God bless you. Till we meet the next live session. Stay blessed and learn more. Thank you and stay blessed.